Years of hard work, leadership, and passion to this volleyball program. Please join us in celebrating the class of 2026. We would first like to start honoring the Folsom seniors will the following seniors please come forward? Neil, Cisco, Namish, Kaden, Tejas, and Aiden.
Because I think the senior night sometimes they just, even like, they don't have stories.
Okay, the first Oak Ridge athlete we're celebrating is number 5, Adam Howell. Escorted by his parents, Sean and Heather. Adam has been playing for Oak Ridge for 4 years and finished his career with 2 years on varsity. Adam is headed to Boise State this fall to major in environmental studies. Special message from Adam is Adam would like to thank all of his coaches for their constant support through his career. Give it up for Adam Howell. Okay, the next athlete we're celebrating is number 27, Jack Reeser. Jack is escorted by his parents, Kristen and Jay, his Mimi Judy, and his Papa Steve. Jack is a 4-year player for the program, spending 3 of those years as a key member of the varsity squad. Jack this fall is attending Boise State to study civil engineering. Number 27, Jack Reeser. Next up, we have number 23, Aiden Gunderson. Escorted by his parents, Elizabeth and Craig, and his sister Harper. Aiden is a 3-year program athlete, including 1 year in varsity. His future plans include continuing his volleyball career at Santa Barbara City College with the goal of transferring to an NCAA program. Let's hear it for number 23, Aiden Gunderson. Next player joining us on the floor is number 1, Zane Saw. Escorted by his parents Hasneem and Raj, his brother Aiden, and his sister Maya. Zane has played all 4 years, including 2 years on varsity. In his future, Zane plans to major in engineering in a college and looks forward to playing volleyball at the next level. Special message from Zane is, I'm really grateful for my family for all their sacrifices and support, and to my coaches for their guidance and for challenging me every day. Let's hear it for number 1, Zane Saw. Last but not least, we have the infamous number 3, Dennis Supermiddle Savaria. Dennis is escorted by his parents, Jermaine and George, and his sister Jessie. Dennis is a 4-year player with 2 years on the varsity team. Next year, Dennis will be headed to the University of Nevada, Reno to major in biology. Give it up for super middle Dennis Savar. Let's have one more round of applause for our 5 seniors and their families. our national anthem.
Hello and welcome, everybody. We are here, El Dorado Hills, California, Trojans Arena for the last regular season game of the year. Oak Ridge men's varsity volleyball between the Oak Ridge Trojans and the Folsom Bulldogs. My name is Murcielago Del Dotto. I'm joined here with Tommy Johnstone. Tommy, how are we doing tonight?
I'm doing great, Merce. I just got off my track practice, and now I'm ready to watch the Trojans dominate tonight.
So excited for this game tonight. The Oak Ridge Trojans and the Folsom Bulldogs. Special meeting tonight, senior night. Shout out to all the seniors as we paid respects at the beginning of the broadcast. You can go and check that out. Oak Ridge Trojans on their senior night. Record of 28-11, 10-3 overall in league play. 10 wins, 3 losses in the SFL puts them in third. California 27, Sacramento Region 2, and nationally ranked inside the top 60 at the 55th best high school team in the national region in the United States of America. Looking over at the other side, the Folsom Bulldogs kind of having a struggle of a season this year. Their record overall is 12-22 with a 4-8 record in league, putting them at 6th in the SFL. Both these teams know each other well, the Bulldogs and the Trojans. One of the most anticipated rivalries in the section. Both teams very much dislike each other and always want to get the upset over the other one. The Trojans have dominated this matchup in the past, winning in all their previous games this year. It's their third matchup of the year between the Trojans and the Bulldogs, and the Trojans won in 2 sets and in 3 sets the last time these two teams played. Here we go. Oak Ridge Trojans and Folsom Bulldogs on the Trojans senior night. Jack Reiser gets blocked, and the first point of the game is a Folsom Bulldog. Points. Sinjane, a freshman, number 24. For Folsom, gets the block there. The Trojans can't return it. Jack Reiser, number 27, with the spike. A senior this year, 6'1", 175. Tried to get the spike in, but it was blocked. They could not get it back over. An ace for the Bulldogs as well gets them up to 2-0 early. Caden Darling, senior, 6'5". One of their biggest players, number 9, Chintallery. Number 9 right now serving for the Bulldogs. That one is way wide and out the back. The Trojans, their first point of the game on a bad Folsom serve. The Oak Ridge Trojans, in years past, have dominated this Folsom team. As we said, they're 2-0 this year. Folsom has not beat them in the last 2 years. Considering that they play several games, this is their third matchup of the year. It's a pretty good showing for the Trojans as they're undefeated through these last 2 years against this Bulldog team. 2-2, the Trojans score 2 right after Bulldogs, and it's 2-2, but a short serve. Folsom takes the lead again at 3-2.
Folsom sideline getting loud.
It's the last game of the regular season for both teams. The Trojans look at them make their way into the playoffs. Folsom, I don't know if it's possible, but a win here would be huge, as they possibly could round in one of the bottom seeds of the playoffs. They're up 4-2 right now. The Bulldogs playing well, but the Trojans strike back. A deflection that goes out of bounds. The Trojans' third point of the night. 4-3.
That spike by Zane Shaw, the senior.
Here's another senior, Reiser. Great serve, just barely skims over to the net. On the other side, the Trojans hand it well on the defense. Jamie Frazier, that one just a little off on the hit there. Frazier, we don't see him make many mistakes like that. Jamie, one of the Trojans, if not the Trojans' best player. He's got almost 400 kills, 399 exactly on the year. Almost 400 kills on the year for Frazier, as well as 36 aces and over 520 blocks. This kid has been playing on varsity since his freshman year, and he's only gotten better and better and better. Another year of Frazier on varsity next year will be unstoppable. There he is, but he's blocked again. Folsom coming on aggressive and hot. Donna Patty, that one, number 22, senior with the block. 7-3 is the score. Folsom coming in hot, carrying that momentum as they have a 4-point lead. That's an amazing dig and a great effort play from 15 on the Bulldogs. That one's Strahan. On the other side, that one just out.
It's called in. That's Oak Ridge Point. Amazing spike, amazing positioning, barely within the line.
Oh, wow. I didn't see that. I thought it went out. Yeah, that's a great point for the Trojans. It's 4-7 now. And the Trojans will serve number 5, Adam Howell, another senior for the Trojans team here on senior night. Looking at the last games played for each of these teams, the Trojans last played on the 20th on Monday. They played Jesuit, the league leader right now. They lost 3-1 in 4 sets. Jesuit, an astonishing 12-0 undefeated record in league play. They've wrapped up their season championship. The Bulldogs get that point. Oak Ridge coming off a loss to the league champions in the Jesuit Marauders. Looking on the other side, the Bulldogs lost in 5 sets to Del Oro on Monday as well. Folsom, their last win coming a couple of weeks ago versus Sante Zen. A 3-0 shutout victory for Folsom. Hasn't come since the 11th of this month. The Trojans with another point at 7-5. Trojans, their last win coming on April 15th at Davis, where they won 3-0.
The score is 6-7 right now. Trojans behind.
Both these teams going back and forth early. There's another point for Folsom, as a "you can't do that" chant from the Folsom Bulldogs side indicates an illegal play from the Oak Ridge Trojans. Folsom in black and blue, the Trojans in white.
Adam Howell to receive.
That one,
Spiked
pure
down.
power from Aiden Gunderson. Gunny, a 6'4" senior. A great spike there from Aiden Gunderson. And Gunny gets it back to a 1-point game. The Trojans only down 8-7. Gunderson with almost 150 kills on the year, along with 75 blocks. He's a key part of the Trojans' up front line. As we said, he's 6'4", so that frame plays huge for his advantage down low.
Point given to Folsom after one of the Trojans touched the net.
Here's the spike from Frazier. That one gets blocked. Chintollery again with a great play. Number 9, Chintollery. As he's able to get the Bulldogs into the double digits for the first time tonight. 10-7 the score. Frazier, that one gets up and over off the deflection. Trojan point. Frazier now ends the year with over 400 kills. He's also got 52 blocks and almost 40 aces on the year. As we've said, Jamie Frazier, one of, if not the best player for the Oak Ridge Trojans this year, coming off an amazing season last year as well. Frazier continues to get better. That one's gonna be a Trojan.
They'll rule it out of bounds.
(10-9) the score. Frazier sends it over. That one just a little too heavy. It's gonna be a Bulldog point. 11-9 now is the score. Folsom in a hostile environment, up too early. Number 8, Aiden Deckard, is going to serve for Folsom. He's up 2, but not anymore. The Trojans clap back Jack Reiser, senior number 27, one of the middleman pieces for this Oak Ridge team. He's got over 200 digs on the year with 175 kills and 25 aces. Jack, an under-the-radar type of player for this Trojans team. But he's been a senior for several years. He's been a starter on varsity for several years now, and now in his senior year is only blossoming.
If this game continues how it is, then this game could easily go to 5.
Absolutely. As we've said, the Trojans and the Bulldogs have met twice this year, this being their 3rd matchup of the year. The Trojans have won in 3 and in 2. But so far tonight, Folsom has shown that they're not going down easy. 12-11 the score. Folsom up 1. That one, we got a screeching hole from the Oak Ridge side. Number 13, Luke Pulaski, lays out full extension to try to get it. Just a tad too late, though. 13-11 now the score. Folsom up 2. Zane Saw able to get the point for the... No, sorry. Wow, they're going to call a Saw net violation.
And they'll reverse it.
Yeah, Folsom's going to get the point, 14-11. We're going to see our first timeout of the game. The Trojans down 3. Trojans head coach, Range Larson, got to take a timeout to discuss it over. As we get into the break, we haven't talked about it much. It's kind of come up on me. But we got the NFL draft starting tomorrow night in Pittsburgh. I think it's a 5 o'clock start. Raiders go on the clock with the first pick at 5 p.m. PST. It's kind of snuck up at the NFL, getting towards its early action of the 2026-2027 season. The NFL draft starts tomorrow. The Raiders hold pick number 1. Fernando Mendoza, a surefire number 1 overall pick for the Las Vegas Raiders. Our hometown San Francisco 49ers hold the 27th pick in the draft. It'll be interesting to see what they go with. Coming back from the timeout, Bulldogs score one more, now a 4-point lead. Zane Saw gets blocked. He gets blocked. The Folsom sideline goes nuts. 16-11 the score.
The Bulldogs sideline chanting super middle, the nickname for Dennis Savar.
Yeah, a senior. Very well loved as well, Savar is. Xavier. They're going crazy though. 18-11 the score. Folsom up big. Finally the Trojans able to get one back on a poor serve that just goes high and out of the back for Folsom. The Trojans have swept the Bulldogs in both meetings this year between these two teams, but it's a different story here tonight. If you're unfamiliar with volleyball, it's a best of 3, best of 5 type situation where you have to win by 2 in each set. First to 25 wins the set. You have to win by 2. And if it goes to a 5th set, sudden death 5th set only goes to 15, where that 2 win by 2 situation is still in play. So the Bulldogs 18-13 to score right now. They're getting close, within 7 of upsetting the Trojans on senior night and taking an early set 1 victory. And they're gonna get one more. 19-13, a 6-point lead for the Dogs.
This may be the first set between these two teams that Folsom wins all season.
Yeah, volleyball really doesn't show the box score. If you just look at the box score, a 2-0 and a 3-0 win for the Trojans seems like they dominated. But volleyball can always be tight, where teams could lose in 3 sets, but lose each set by 2 or 3 points. It's a very deceiving sport. The Bulldogs up 5 right now, within 6 of taking set number 1. Trojans got to look out. They're trying to come back. Down 5, 19-14. That's a great chest dig, if you would say, from Zane Saw.
The spike from Folsom. It's ruled in.
That's a great look from the Folsom Bulldogs. Now 20. They hit the 20-point mark for the first time tonight. The Oak Ridge Trojans down 6. Still don't really have anything to go on. Bulldogs now within 5 of taking an early set number 1 victory. And wow, they're going nuts. 21-14. The Trojans don't know what to do, and another timeout is taken by the Trojans and Coach Larson. Folsom within 4 of taking set number 1. 21-14 the score. We'll see you back after the timeout here on Trojan Pride Network. We are back from the timeout here in El Dorado Hills, California. Oak Ridge High School varsity men's volleyball between the Oak Ridge Trojans and the Folsom Bulldogs. If you're just joining us, the Trojans coming in here as the heavy favorites over the over the Bulldogs, as the Trojans have won 2 games this year against the Bulldogs, sweeping them in both games played The Bulldogs within 3 have taken an early set number 1, and again, a Trojans slight mess up. They're falling apart late in this first set. 23-14. Bulldogs almost have a double-digit lead, a 9-point lead right now. Trojans finally able to get one back, but 23-15 is a huge hold that the Trojans have dug themselves in. They're going to have a nice chunk of a run here to get back into it. That one, a great defensive stop by the Trojans. Now they look to get it over. Blocked! Again! That's the story of set number 1. The Bulldogs defense, number 22, Donna Patty, with another shutdown defensive stop for the Bulldogs. As now they are quickly in set point, 24-15, a 9-point lead. The Trojans got to win 9 points in a row just to keep it alive. Here's the possible set point. That one, yes it is. 25-15 as the Bulldogs blow away the Trojans in set number 1. A double-digit set 1 victory for the Bulldogs as they come out hot here early in tonight's matchup. The Bulldogs 25, the Trojans 15. We'll see you back for set number 2 where the Trojans look to get back on track. We're back. Second quarter action here. Oak Ridge Trojans, Folsom Bulldogs, men's varsity volleyball. My name, Murcielago Del Dotto. I'm joined now with Tristan Marced. Tristan, how we doing tonight?
Doing absolutely awesome. Crazy first set. Absolutely unexpected. Folsom took it.
It was indeed the Oak Ridge Trojans coming into tonight's game with a 28-11 overall record. With a 10-3 record in the SFL, the Sierra Foothill League puts them in third. The Bulldogs have struggled this year at a 12-22 record with a 4-8 record in league play. As we've talked about earlier, these teams, this is their third matchup of the year, and the Trojans sweeping the Bulldogs in both matchup this year. So we were looking for the Trojans to do the same, especially in set one, but the Bulldogs come out hot, and a 10-point set one victory shows them apart from their prior selves. They came out hot, and we're loving the excitement and momentum that carried to a 10-point set one victory. They're trying to carry that momentum here to set two as well. The first point of set one is a Trojan ace. Folsom can't return.
Trojans really need to work on the returning here in this game to be able to even have a chance. That's what they really struggled with last time. Every single time Folsom seemed to hit it over, it just was unreturnable. Even then, they gave them absolutely no threat when they got it back over. Need to work on that here, second set.
Jack Reiser, Trojans up 2. He's already got 2 aces on his name in the second set. Reiser, a key player for this Trojan team, a senior as well. He's got over 200 digs on the year with 175 kills, 25 aces. Reiser is an absolute key player for this Trojans team, especially with his size. 6'1", 175, plays in the middle. He's a great asset to this Trojans team. 2-0 after a little bit of ref and coach confusion, but another Trojan point and another ace. Back-to-back aces for Reiser and the Trojans to start off the third set.
Talking about Jack Reiser being a key player for this team. So special the Trojans are. Obviously they have Jamie Frazier on the attacking end, but every single piece on this team is a key component. They need every single player to be able to win these games, and that's how the Trojans take games, currently up 4-0.
Yeah, and they like to keep that running. Come out slow, lose the first set by 10. They like to continue this run. Reiser no longer back-to-back aces, but nevertheless 4 in a row. And finally it drops. First point of the Folsom Bulldogs. Second set, it's 4-1.
And both teams, interestingly enough, they both flow like music. Once they hit their groove, they don't stop. It continues with almost like a perfect melody. Absolutely amazing to see both teams, especially when they're red hot.
Exactly right, and we saw, especially with the Folsom, their defense, not allowing the Trojans to do anything on the offensive side with several blocks, and their offense putting it in places where the Trojans can't return it. And we just saw early in the second, the Trojans can go on a run with multiple aces in a row. Dig from Elias Cannon, number 6, big boy out there. Let's see, yeah, wow. I can't believe it. 6'9" is what they have him registered as on paper. 6'9", 185 Cannon. Huge player for the Trojans, literally on the court, physically as well. 6'9" frame. Unsurprisingly, he's one of the team leaders in blocks with over 85. He's got 240 kills as well.
And for perspective on the height of Elias Cannon, for just everyone at home that needs a little bit of a reference, Shaquille O'Neal, only 3 inches taller.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, and Elias is a junior in high school. He's got so much potential. Cannon injured last year for most of the season. He's been a big part of this year's Trojans team, and it shows as he's contributed to the team's 28-11 record.
These teams love to get at each other with the chance. Just keep jarring. Try to get in each other's heads. There's the ace.
Yeah, another one 4 aces in 7 points for the Trojans. That's number 13, Luke Pulowski. 7-4 the score. That one's short. Pulkowski. That one's short from him. It's now 7-5. Bulldogs get the ball in return. Chintari. That one in the middle. Nobody's there. That's a great spike from Cannon. He gets his first points, his first kill of the night for the Trojans.
And doesn't that just make it so easy on your setter? I mean, you can just put it up in the air and you know he's going to get it.
Yeah, I don't know if you can miss with that frame. I don't know if you can miss high, miss wide. Elias is a great piece for the Trojans, especially as you just said, Tristan, for that setter. There's Aiden Gunderson with a block and another point for the Trojans.
As we know, NBA playoffs going on. One of those teams are the Spurs. They have their own alien, Victor Wembanyama. Elias Cannon, although he's like a high school reference, seems like that, but for volleyball.
That's a great comparison. Hopefully, Cannon doesn't get injured again, as we saw Wembanyama go out in Game 2 versus the Trailblazers with a gnarly head, neck, face injury. We hope he's okay. Wembanyama hoping to carry his career as he's so young. With that 7'4" frame, he is quite literally the alien of the NBA.
And some people want to make the argument he's almost 7'6".
With shoes and, you know, a little bit of a big breakfast, you could say that.
Pack a good night's rest, stand up straight.
Right, exactly. We got number 11 checking in for number 15 for the Bulldogs. Sanford for Stranton. That one just a little too much from Frazier. It's 10-6 now.
Specifically for Frazier, when you've got such a hard serve, you got to make sure you get it in.
Exactly right. Get over the top of the ball, not too much to make it short of the net. (10-6) to score. A wonky wind up for Gunderson, but it works out. 4 blocks in a row, and he gets it over. Reiser with a great play. The boys like that on the sideline. It's 11-6 now. Great improv from both teams, and Jack Reiser able to finish it off with a Trojan point.
Absolutely fantastic save by the libero. Andrew Belmont just got the dig, and his teammates were able to recover for everything else. Trojans team, again, we're talking about them working as a unit. You saw it there.
Number 16, Takata now with the serve. Keon Takata, sophomore, on the shorter side, 5'7", 140, but he's an athlete, quick and shifty for the Trojans. In that central to back line. 12-6 is the score. He's coming off an ace.
Both teams lined up there. Trojans tried to get the block. We're not able to. Folsom sends it over. Now 7-12.
Yeah, Polkowski full extension there from number 13 to try and get something under it, but unable to prevail. It's 12-7 now. The Trojans up by 5. In a better shape at this point in the game. Set 1 versus set 2. They're looking just a tad better. Another point for the Bulldogs, though, cuts that lead down to 4, 12-8.
We're talking about how the Trojans love to pull away in these games. They're very good at it, too. That's kind of one of their key things on how they win games. Folsom Bulldogs perfectly combating it. They haven't let them get very many, except for at the very beginning where they let them go on a 4-0 run.
Yeah, not surprising. We saw a 10-point victory from the Bulldogs in set 1. The Trojans couldn't get nothing under them. Normally, if they start a chain, they could quickly get some points under their belt, but nothing for them in set 1 as the Bulldogs took it 25-15. they're starting to look a little bit better here. They've got a 5-point lead, 13-8 now.
Elias Cannon not going to let him look better, though. Took that point there, just pushed it over.
Here's Cannon. His toss up in the air almost hits the roof and a little too high. It goes out of the back for a Bulldog point.
Maybe I'm biased, but from my perspective, I certainly thought that was right on the line.
Well,
alas, I'm not a referee.
Nevertheless, the Bulldogs get the point. Ball never lies, though. There's one dig. Whistle blows and an early point for the Trojans. As I just said, ball don't lie.
There you go. You can call it every time.
Here's a substitution for the Bulldogs. And a timeout as well. Timeout from the Bulldogs. 14-9 is the score right now. Trojans looking a little bit better off from this point in set number 1. Set number 2, they're up 5, 14-9. We'll see you back after the timeout here on Trojan Pride Network. Coming back from the timeout, the Oak Ridge Trojans 14, Folsom Bulldogs 9. The Oak Ridge Trojans looking a little bit better here as they hold a 5-point lead in the middle of set number 2. 27, Jack Reiser restarts play. Up in the air, Frazier, a push spike there from Frazier, but it works anyway. 15-9. Frazier with another creative way to add a point to the Trojans scoreboard.
And I think that's such an underrated part of this Trojan team. They are very creative with how they get their points. It's not always just bump, set, spike. They're going to push it on you. They're going to jump over you. They're going to do any which way to get that ball over, legally, of course.
Exactly right. We just saw another way. Jamie Frazier rising up and sends it all the way back. That's a clean block for another point for the Trojans. As we see, though, Folsom can respond. That's a really nice positioning from Damian Stratton. Gets over the Trojans' first line of defenders with a little fingertip in between, but lands, nevertheless, in the back left corner. No matter what, Folsom was going to hang on to that point. Frazier, no, just a little too wide. Try to go for the old swinging over the head, over the ear, but a little too much. Didn't get quite enough over the ball. Goes out of the back. 16-11 now.
And someone call Kareem Abdul-Jabbar because Jamie Frazier was trying to steal that sky hook.
He was. 17-11. The score now, Trojans another point.
Andrew Belmont here to serve.
Andrew, one of the top aces on this Trojan team with just over 20 on the year. A block, wow, just simple. Looked like Aiden Gunderson didn't put in any effort in that one. Just hopped up a little bit, sent it back the other way. 18-11 now the score, coming off a Gunderson block.
Frazier and Gunderson up front. That is an absolutely horrifying matchup for any team. Two men that can absolutely jump out of the gym.
That one, another Trojan point, back to back to back for Oak Ridge as they are just on the boundary of 20 and 19. 19-11 is the score. Folsom got to take another timeout. As we head into the timeout, we look at the schedules for both these teams. Looking previously to the Trojan schedule, they got a 28-11 record. That's with help winning 9 of their last 11 games. Trojans in their last 11 only losing 2 matchups. Going on the other side, though, the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs have lost 3 in a row, with losses coming to Delaware, Whitney, and Granite Bay. And over the course of their last 7 games, losing in 5, only grabbing 2 wins in that 7-game span. This Trojans team is on a run right now, and the Bulldogs, 3 in a row, trying to get back in the win column. Their last win on the 11th of this month, April 11th, for Santa Zen.
And staying on the Folsom side, moving to their football team, their starting quarterback, Brody Radnicki, up and coming. He's a 3-star quarterback, and he just won the rival San Francisco meet MVP for quarterbacks.
Incredible accomplishment for Radnicki. As we know, over here in El Dorado Hills, Oak Ridge High School transferred his freshman year. It's been many talks about that. This year he's coming home to play the Trojans on his used-to-be home turf for the first time in his career. Radnicki, against this Trojans team, though, has had a poor track record, losing in his JV year. The Trojans JV beat him up and grabbed the win against Radnicki in his JV year. Now he'll become the starter on varsity this year as he'll come home. The Trojans host the Bulldogs in mid-October.
And that is going to be a game fueled with fire. We already know that.
It is. The Trojans defense is going to hold nothing back against number 10. Radnicki trying to show that he's not a fraud against this old team. 3-star recruit. We know what he can do. Can he do it against his hometown squad, though?
And I've been saying this for a while. I finally got to put it on air. This is my personal opinion. We talked about it a little bit. I think Radnicki will grow to be a better quarterback than their favorite Rider Lions.
I can see it. I can see it. Another point for the Bulldogs. Brody Radnicki, more of a true passer than Lions ever was. Lions relied on his legs and that huge line to create gaps up the middle. And that's how he beat us, really, in the championship. 2 rushing touchdowns. Radnicki has more sense of a true passer to stay in the pocket, going back to the old times. But Radnicki has got great talent. He has the potential to become one of the better quarterbacks Folsom has seen.
Absolutely. And you watch him in the weight room, you know he's working hard. Saw him the other day on a video squatting 3 plates and a 25 on front squat.
Wow.
Insane.
That's wild. Trojans back here have a 5-point lead. 20-15 is the score. Elias Cannon just gets it over the top of 22. Don Patty. 21 now for the Trojans as they cross that 20-point mark. 4 points for the Trojans to even it up at 1 all-in set score. Bulldogs got some work to do, though. Down 6, 21-15.
Both teams just continue to go back and forth.
Yeah, a great rally. Who can finish it off, though? An amazing dig from Folsom to keep it alive. Oak Ridge, the Bahana, no! I was about to say the possible finishing strike, but it goes to the Dogs. In an unreal rally, the Bulldogs able to pull out the point, 21-16. And he's a freshman chant from number 24, Sedenya.
This Folsom team, absolutely hyped. They haven't been quiet for a single second. You gotta love the energy.
Yeah, and upsetting the Trojans in the first set, that's just carried them to this enthusiastic energy from their sideline.
The Trojans in this second set certainly haven't made it easy on them, but Folsom sure is holding their own.
They are 22-16. Trojans within 3, but Folsom have not let up, continuing to bounce back after some quick Trojans runs.
Keon Takata here to serve. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, he started the year on JV. Currently a sophomore Remember seeing him in one or two of those games. Now he's here on varsity, certainly earned his spot.
Yes, he has. An ace there as well. Now he's within 2. Takata with the serve. Within 2 of taking the second set victory. Folsom battling, no, but it's blocked. Cannon and Saviar reject it. 24-16. Now set point.
That time for Cannon, I mean, it's like throwing a ball over a 20-foot wall. It's impossible. You can't get it.
They cannot get it. Wow, and another one. Back-to-back blocks for the Trojans to close out set 2, 25-16. The Trojans bouncing back with a 9-point set 2 victory of their own after losing by 10 in the first. What an incredible matchup we have here. We're tied going into set number 3 at 1 apiece. We'll see you back for the third set here on Trojan Pride Network. We're back. Third set action here. Trojans Arena. My name, Murcielago Del Dotto. I'm joined back with Tommy Johnstone on the mic. If you're just joining us, the Oak Ridge Trojans get blown away in the first set, losing 25-15. And the Bulldogs, 10-point set 1 victory. They got off to the races and didn't look back. 10-point victory for Folsom in set 2. didn't feel as much as a blowout for the Trojans, but a very similar ending score with a 9-point victory in set 2 for the Trojans, ending 25-16. The Trojans picked up pace in the early to mid part of set number 2, and they didn't really look back, losing a couple, but bouncing right back with a couple themselves. As we head into set number 3, the Trojans and the Bulldogs tied it even. Wow! Coming out hot, Jamie Frazier with an aggressive spike. Lands on the foot of one of the Bulldog defenders, heads straight to the ground. You heard the smack of the ball hitting the ground on that one. Frazier, the first point of set 3. Pulaski able to keep it alive. Frazier just out. Folsom Bulldogs, their last game they played on Monday versus the Delaware Golden Eagles with a 3-2 loss. Went down to 5. A heartbreaking loss for the Bulldogs. But their spirits are up tonight. Matthews Hudson.
The net judge is telling Folsom to not celebrate. Number 7 for Folsom, Matthias Hudson, got into one of the Trojans' faces after that block.
That one rebounding off of a Folsom Bulldog, but it's going to be a Trojan point. Number 14, Gabe de Guzman's going to check out. Wow. Luke Polkowski sends it hot over the net. The Trojans with their 3rd point of set 3. It's now 3-2. Trojans up by 1. Cannon gets blocked. Can the Trojans send it over again? They do, and Frazier, unstoppable, back right corner. Perfect placement and pure power.
Frazier getting his get back for all those spikes that were blocked in the first set.
Yeah, sometimes you say placement over power. Sometimes they call it power over placement. But Frazier there with both at the same time for the 4th, and the Trojans quickly with an ace to get their 5th.
The line judge calls that out, but the net judge overrules him.
No threat from Folsom as they send it over, and Gunderson with the bounce that almost hits the roof.
The senior setting the tone for this set, telling them the first set we were letting you guys win. Here we go into the next point.
Great dig from Folsom to keep it alive, but it's
Blocked.
They keep it alive again, send it over with no threat though. The Trojans looking to do the same thing. Frazier, yes, over the net and hits the court on the Folsom side. 7-3 now the score. Polkowski with the left-handed, but it's just too much. Doesn't get enough under it. Excuse me, doesn't get enough over it. And it's too high. Over the back line, 7-4. A dig. A first dig, but no second dig. Shintari, number 17, with the first dig. Nobody else there, though. For the Bulldogs, it's 8-4.
Frazier up to serve for the Trojans. spikes it over the net from
Yeah, so powerful from Frazier. Now on the other side, Gunderson hits it too late as he hits it on the down, straight down. It's going to be a Bulldog point. Gunderson can't get it over.
Scoreboard hasn't been updated yet.
That one, Trojan point, now 9-5 is the score. Trojans won the point. They're going to get the serve. Number 5, Adam Howell.
Gunderson currently explaining to his coaches what the messed up spike was about.
Frazier, wow! He keeps it alive. Number 11, Copeland Sanford. An amazing effort to keep it alive, but the Trojans still score. Sanford's amazing efforts. Go to nothing. 10-5 the score.
Dennis Savari, the senior super middle, spiked that one. The block still goes over though.
Both jerseys rising up. Last touch by the Trojans, and it goes out of bounds. They're going to give the point to the Dogs. Number 11 checks out. Oak Ridge with that point there. 11-6, Elias, that one's short. Elias is gonna check out. Gabe de Guzman gonna check in. Set the spike from Reiser. They can't get it over.
Two Trojans jumped a little bit early for the block, and it went right over their heads.
Trojans, wow, that was pretty.
Amazing.
Number 13.
Amazing set to Luke from number 27 on the Trojans. That was Jack Reiser. And the Folsom coaches arguing with the net judge again.
Play resumes. Jack Reiser with the serve for the Trojans, number 27. Senior. Announced on senior night. Congratulations to all the seniors. They're going to give the point to the Bulldogs. 12-9 is the score. The Oak Ridge Trojans 28-11 on the year, 10-3 overall in league. 12-22 for the Bulldogs, and they're hype. An amazing play from number 15, Stranton.
Frazier with the spike that gets beyond the block.
Number 7, Andrew Belmont to serve for the Trojans.
barely gets over the net, which is just what you want.
And Jamie Frazier, pure power. Was a very similar location to his kill earlier in the set. Frazier 14-10, now the Trojans up 4. Belmont with the serve, Reiser going full Superman there, trying to go full extension to save it, but he just is a little bit too far away. Now 14-11 the score. Just barely skims over the net. That one, wow.
Smacked by Plakowski.
No, Folsom Bulldog can attain it. Score now 16-11. Now Polkowski's going to serve for the Oak Ridge Trojans. The net judge talking to the scoreboard. We're going to move back down to 15-11 now the score. Had a little bit of a mess up on the scoreboard. The play resumes here with the Trojan serve, but it's just short at a Folsom point. Now 15-12. Here's the set. The spike from Frazier, not much of a spike. Folsom able to keep it up, send it over. Here's a great look for the Trojans. Frazier off the deflection. A net violation by the Bulldogs. And it's a Trojan point. Number 4, Jamie Frazier now will serve for his team. Both teams, their last regular season game of the year. The Trojans, a deep, hopeful, deep playoff run for them will be coming. Folsom Bulldogs need this win to possibly squeak into the playoffs, although it is a long shot. Folsom losing 5 of their last 7 does not help.
These powerful serves by Frazier are throwing off the Folsom defense. Look at that right there. It didn't go over, but look at the power behind that.
Yeah, he reaches all the way back, gets everything into what he can. Frazier, a weapon behind the line. The Trojans team leading ace, as he has coming into tonight's matchup 36 over the course of this game, over 40 now on the year. Reiser, yes, he's gonna get it off a couple deflections and a dig. Folsom can't send it back over. It's a Trojan point, 18-13.
With the 5-point lead, Adam Howell will check in for the Trojans. He'll be serving.
Folsom getting ready. There's 1, 2, the spike. And that's a great play from Folsom. It's now 18-14.
A little bit of miscommunication by Frazier and Luke Pulowski.
We got substitutions. Number 23, Gunnarson's going to check in for Howell. Basadia, number 10, sophomore for Folsom, going to send it over. Elias, that one is just out. 18-15. Folsom only down by 3. Here's the spike from Reiser. That one handled well by the Dogs. Blocked, but out of bounds. 18-16 now. Trojans only up 2. That lead is shortened.
To serve for the Bulldogs, Varsity.
That one wide from Frazier. A great play
Frazier saves it.
from Belmont to save it. And then Frazier able to send it over. As Tommy said, now on the other side, back to Frazier. He can't get it to go. And another one for the Dogs. They bring that deficit back down to 1. And Trojans and Coach Larson are going to take a time out. This Trojans lead, which was 5 or 6 at one point, down to just 1. As we head into the timeout, the MLB season is in its midst of its early start. The San Francisco Giants and the Los Angeles Dodgers playing their first series of the year. One of the most legendary rivals in sports history, the Giants and the Dodgers. Before last night's game, which was game 1, the history of these two teams was tied at 1,290 wins for each team, dead even before the start of this series. Last night, the Giants took the win 3-1 and broke the even as the history of the Dodgers and Giants have won one more game with 1,291 victories against the Dodgers versus LA's 1,290 versus the Giants. An historic rivalry, which has only really just begun, which is crazy. Giants in the middle of a 3-game series with the Dodgers. Their last game, their first of 3 against the Dodgers last night, coming in a 3-1 win, second of 3 tonight. Score 0-0, top of the 6th. Trojans 19, they're gonna give the point to the Bulldogs, so 19-18 now. This set is gonna come down to possibly a win-by-2 situation. Both teams would have to get to 24, where they would surpass 25, and the winning team would have to win by 2 points. It's gonna be close. Gonna be even closer now. The Bulldogs able to tie it up for the first time, possibly all set. (19-19) all. That one short. The Trojans take the lead back. 20-19 now. The Trojans the first one to break 20 in set 3. 5 left to go. Bulldogs have 6.
It's a win-by-2 scenario, so if they stay 1-for-1 every single time, then we'll go into overtime in this set.
21-19 the score now. Jack Reiser with a nice ace for the Trojans. Bang! A block at the net. Again, the Guzman able to save it. A second one from Reiser, but it can't go. We got bang chance from the Bulldogs. 21-20. Stays in a 1-point game. Oak Ridge only holds it by 1. Arguably one of the most important sets in volleyball is the third, of the Trojans extend their lead to 2. Whoever comes out on top in the third set has the advantage to close out the game in 4 sets. With a set 4 victory, they could go back-to-back and close it before a final sudden death set 5. Trojans up 2 with 3 to go. Frazier sends it to make it 23.
Compared to the first set, Frazier's really made an appearance here tonight in this third set.
He has indeed this first set here tonight. The Trojans got mollywopped. Were blown out in a 10-point win for the Bulldogs. In the second, the Trojans flipped that result on its head, winning by 9 in set 2. And set 3 is the exact opposite of the first two. We've seen everything here tonight. A Folsom blowout, a Trojan blowout. And now coming out of the wire, 3-point game. With 2 left to go, the Trojans only need 2 more to take the lead in sets 2-1.
With this being NFL Draft Eve today, all the mock drafts are coming out with an 100% chance that the Las Vegas Raiders are taking Mendoza. But that does leave the question, who goes 2, 3, and 4? I was thinking Jeremiah Love would definitely be top 5, and they have him taken 3rd.
Jeremiah Love is an incredible talent. The running back from Notre Dame has had major impacts in that Notre Dame uniform, dragging them all the way to the national championship, the Natty.
And if he does go 3rd overall, we will see him becoming an Arizona Cardinal.
That's a scary sight to see as a Niner fan. Coming back here, though, the Trojans with 1. Now with 1 left to go, set point for the Oak Ridge Trojans, 24-20.
But we've
and Folsom able to stay alive. Pushed against the walls, but they're not out of it yet. They've got to win 3 more in a row to push it to a win-by-2 situation.
Yeah, we've definitely seen the story before, though, Merce, where it's a bad team gets a really good running back, and they go, oh, this is our year. Like last year with the Raiders getting Ashton Genty and not putting anything around him.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Could happen again.
An extreme talent gets put to a normality just because he doesn't have an O-line. And if that would happen with Jeremiah Love, that would be such a waste.
That one is out. And there it is, 25-22. Coming off a ricochet and out of bounds off a Folsom player. 25 Trojans, 22 Bulldogs. As we have the winner of set 3, the Oak Ridge Trojans, grab a set 3 victory. Now they lead 2-1. The Trojans, they're the first to 25 in set 4. They'll close out the night in 4 sets. Can they do it? We'll see. Back, set number 4 here on Trojan Pride Sports Network. As we interrupt here the break between sets 3 and 4, we'd like to give out a shout out to our sponsor, Jeff Galanowski Photography. Your story, your style, captured to last forever. Jeff Galanowski Photography excels creating beautiful, timeless portraits for you, whether it's of your family, seniors, pets, sports athletes, or business/events. Their offerings include personalized photo sessions, professional editing, and a variety of print and digital products, all designed to provide you with an exceptional and memorable photograph. Jeff Galanowski, thank you for being our sponsor, Trojan Pride Sports Marketing. Thank you to Jeff Galanowski Photography. You can see their logo in that bottom right. Jeff Galanowski Photography.com. Jeff Galanowski Photography. Your story, your style, captured to last forever. Thank you. As we return for set number 4, the Oak Ridge Trojans lead sets 25-22 was the end of set 3. Now we head to set 4. Trojans lose set 1 by 10, but bounce back with a 9-point and a 5-point. Set 2 and 3 wins, as we now look to a potential Oak Ridge win in 4. My name, Murcielago Del Dotto. I'm joined back with Tristan Barstead on the mic. We've got early action here, the Trojans in a possible final set here for the home team. Get on the board first, it's 1-0, Trojans.
Trojans, we've seen them take control multiple times. I was talking about it earlier in the game. You can't let them get up. But again, the Bulldogs doing a fantastic job at limiting it. Trojans really going on 2 3-point runs at max.
Another point for the Trojans as they're starting out hot like they did set number 2. Here's the spike riser. 2, 3, can they save it? No, it hits the pole. They're gonna give it to the Dogs. 2-1 is the score.
And despite being down, this Folsom team will not go out quiet. They have been energetic for their players all night. Certainly an enviable. Trojans been rather quiet, not typically like them.
Yeah, and showing that they've got the lead, they would be more excited, you would say. But this Bulldog team, this sideline, has not shut up. And that's what they like to see.
Trojans team, noticing it early on in the game, seemed to come into this game a little lackadaisical. They see a lesser opponent on their sheet. Didn't necessarily plan for this game, apparently, and it showed.
Yeah, they haven't done their homework. They've played this Folsom Bulldog team twice this year, both times sweeping them. 2-0 win in a tournament and a 3-0 win in a league game. Today it's been a little bit of a different story. They had a nice second set where they won by 2, and in second set they won by 9, and in the third they escaped with a 3-point victory, but in set 1 they really didn't know what hit them.
Folsom certainly had a fire underneath them this whole game. They really want this, and you can tell every single set, everyone's putting their all into it.
Yeah, and they're playing desperate. 10 games over 500. 10 games under 500, the last game of the year. This game could be the decider whether they sneak in as a 16 seed into the playoff bracket. 12-22 is their record. 4-8 in league puts them in 6th. The Oak Ridge Trojans in 3rd with a 10-3 league record, and overall they've got a 28-11 record.
Folsom, if they were to sneak in as a 16 seed, certainly would be a dark horse, almost like March Madness. Just a team that has so much talent, record just hasn't shown it.
Trojans able to bounce back there, get one, that's 5-4. As we've talked about the SFL several times, we'll look at the leaderboard. The Jesuit Marauders at a 12-0 undefeated record close out the league championship a couple nights ago. Granite Bay, the team that they're actually playing tonight, Granite Bay and Jesuit face off 1st and 2nd place. Granite Bay at a 10-2 record. So if Jesuit can lock up a 13th win in league, Granite Bay could drop to 3rd as the Trojans could wrap up one here. They'd both be at an 11-3 record. It's a great dig. Over the top. Cannon saves it. They send it over. There's a nice opportunity, but it's out. They're going to give Trojans the point at 6-5.
Jamie Frazier's such a complex player. We know he's got an absolute cannon for an arm. When he hits it, he really puts his all into it. But he's so sneaky, he can just fit it right over the top, right where he wants it to be. Always got to keep your eyes open for it.
Yeah, we talked about earlier this whole team, really, their creativeness and their attacks. Jamie, one of the stars of the Trojans' creativity.
Obviously, we've seen it several times with Elias Cannon, too. He's got so much range, he can move it wherever he wants.
Yeah, being 6'9", he's got a lot of versatility. 7-6 the score for the Trojans. Up 1 with a victory in sight.
So far in this set, both sides giving each other little scratches. No one's really taken a big chunk out of this game so far.
Rising up, wow, that's a great hit. Number 10, Varsity, with a great finesse shot to get it over the net, but just before the outreached arms of multiple Trojan players can touch it. 7-7 the score.
Notably, we were talking about how the Trojans win on their creativity. This Folsom Bulldog team wins on conventionalism. Certainly, they have all the techniques down to a T, and that's how they've been winning this game so far. Or not winning this game, but when they've gotten points.
Ooh, that one coming out hot. Frazier able to keep it alive. Wow! Sneaks it right over. Jack Reiser rises over the top. Sneaks it in that back right line. Pure beauty there from Reiser. 8-7 now the score. Trojans get the lead back by 1.
All these players certainly living up to their names, calling out Jack Reiser, rising above the net. Elias Cannon, he's got a cannon for an arm. He's about to show it off here. Unless he hits the ceiling like that.
Yeah, what are they going to call that? I've said that actually several times tonight, that Elias gets close to the ceiling. He actually hits it there on his throw up to spike it. They're going to call that a redo. Cannon sends it over. He's right there to set. Reiser gets blocked, but it's out of bounds. Last touched by a Bulldog at 9-7 now the score.
Feels like this is the first time we've seen a 2-point lead this entire set. Trojans up only 9-7.
Yeah, the Trojans started off to a 2-0 start, but since then, it's been Bulldogs, Trojans, Bulldogs, Trojans. There hasn't been much. Trojans now finally break the third, as it's now 10-7.
Certainly see them start pulling away. I've talked about it multiple times. That's what they do best.
Great dig. There's a second. The spike. Frazier able to calmly keep it alive. Reiser, wow. That's a beauty right there. Back right area. Just sneaks it in there. 11-7 now. And the Bulldogs talk it over as they take a timeout. Down 4. Their backs against the wall. As we hit the break, we'll check in on the Giants and Dodgers once again. Top 7 now in Oracle Park, San Francisco, California. Score still 0-0, top of the 7th inning. 0-0, great score. It's going to come down to the end. Maybe even possibly into extra innings. Giants and Dodgers, one of the most historic rivalries in sports, not just the MLB, but in sports. Just talked about it earlier. Before yesterday's opening series game, the history of the Giants and Dodgers was tied at 1,290 wins each, dead even. Head to head, both teams against each other with 1,290 wins. Incredible that it's dead even through dating back to the late 1800s. 11-8 the score. Bulldogs and the Trojans. This rivalry between Oak Ridge and Folsom feels like it's been since the late 1800s, tying it back to the Giants and Dodgers. These two schools absolutely despise each other and want to win every time they see each other on any sports court, field, arena, field, stadium. No matter what, they want to beat the other team. 11-9 is the score. Trojans up 2.
Of course, I want to tie this rivalry back to my own favorite college team. This reminds me of Auburn, Alabama.
Yes, I knew you were going to say that.
Specifically, this Bulldogs team, primarily in football, has dominated sporting. But this Trojan team in football, in every sport, in volleyball, basketball, they're on the come up.
They are. They are indeed. Basketball and football are really the only two that truly dominate the Trojans. They've got them in soccer, baseball, softball. Girls volleyball actually beat them this year, so I can't say that. But so far this year, boys volleyball, we've seen it. They are on the come up. The Trojans on the rise. Frazier getting up top. 13-9 the score.
Talking about that rivalry in other sports, ever so frustratingly, we've got to wait what feels like eons to see these teams play again.
Agreed. It's been a while, since late November. If you're talking about football, basketball, you're talking about early February. We roll into the spring season, and of course summer break, we got 2 months off.
Gabe de Guzman was able to get that back up. Just a miss on the spike. Luke Bukowski.
11-13 the score. Bulldogs down 2 with the serve. Gentari. Frazier behind the back. Wow, and it worked out. Frazier getting a little stylish as well. A behind the back, which ricochets off. A Folsom Bulldog sends it out of bounds. Frazier behind the back, style point. It's going to add 1 to the Trojans scoreboard, now 14-11. Great dig, full extension. Wow! Quick turnaround. Arison able to secure one for the Bulldogs. Hits the top of the net and takes a hard right to where no white jersey was.
Polkowski.
Pure power from Polkowski. I mean, absolutely dominant. Nobody stopping that one. 15-12. Now the score of the Trojans reach within 10 of wrapping up the night and have a 3-point lead to do it.
Someone must have said something to that. Polkowski, absolute rage on that shot.
Yeah, now he's got to serve here. Look to do it again. Up in the air. Can they get it over? No. A reverse ace. As the Bulldogs send it over after the serve, and the Trojans can't send it back. 15-13. Cannon gets it over, but they're going to call Trojan point. You can't do that, Chance, from the Folsom sideline. Man, this is tight. Bulldogs need this win to stay alive. And it seems at times Trojans might run away with it, but just like that, in a snap of a finger, we're back to a 1-point game.
Trojans went on a really good run earlier on in this set. Bulldogs are now on one of their own. Coming back into this, only 1 point. 15-14 separates the two teams.
Great block, Elias Cannon. 6'9" frame saying something to the other side as he celebrates with his team. 16-14 the score. Frazier quickly goes over it. It's going to work. It's going to work. Frazier all over the place. Fancy, power, strategic as he goes quick. 17-14.
Frazier really caught him off guard with that last one. No one knew it was coming. Immediately hit the ground for the ace.
Gunderson, wow. Holy cow. He shivers as he's cold as ice. Gunderson. Power, that's all I can say. P-O-W-E-R, power from Aiden Gunderson. 18-14. That one short, 15 now for the Dogs.
When Gunderson gets up there off of the set, it's like watching a perfect alley-oop. Just set right up to the net, and he spikes it down. Unstoppable.
Clean, smooth, Gunderson. And a one smooth stroke. Powers it down towards the court. Nobody was going to stop that. 19-15 after the short serve. And the Bulldogs getting closer and closer.
Certainly a rarity for the Bulldogs team. Feels like they haven't missed a single serve this whole game. They've been on point, getting it over at least every single time.
That one way too high for Gunderson as the Bulldogs get one back to stay alive. Down 3. Bulldogs playing for a late playoff push. The Trojans have secured a playoff spot. Trying to get a little more favorable. Some more games at home, though, would be nice. Flying around the Trojans, that's too many hits. They're going to give the point to the Bulldogs. 19-17 now. 2-point game once again.
Certainly the aspect that can't be ignored. You said the Bulldogs playing to get into this playoff tournament. But both teams really just want to beat their rivals. That's the biggest part.
Bulldog, another point for Folsom. 19-18 now. 1-point game as it's right back to a tightly contested one. Again, we saw Trojans might be able to pull it away. Up 3 or 4, but it's back to 1, possibly even with this one. And it is back tight at 19. Wow. The Bulldog resilience here tonight is incredible.
Feels as though blink and you miss it. Already back to a tie. This has been chippy the entire time. Bulldogs are finally able to print their own label on this game. Elias Cannon, though, the alien says no.
Yeah, puts it in a spot where Folsom couldn't do much about it. A little bit quicker reflexes might have done something, but still. Cannon with too much on that one. 20-19, 5-point game. Trojans just need 5 more to take the win. Dennis sends it over and a crazy somehow. Wow, another stop. Whistle blows. They're going to award the Trojans the point. 21 now for the blue and gold.
Merce, you know I absolutely love nicknames. Dennis, Super Middle. Are we going to have to officially name Elias Cannon the Alien?
It's good point. That is a good point. The Alien is an incredible nickname for someone at 17 who's 6'9". I say we do it.
I love it.
The Alien. Elias Cannon is dubbed the Alien here on Trojan Pride Sports Network. And I was glad they took a timeout. The Trojans 22, Bulldogs 19. I haven't got to talk about our next broadcast. Our next broadcast is going to be men's lacrosse senior night tomorrow night, 7:15. First, this very school, the Trojans and the Bulldogs, tomorrow night on the field. Oak Ridge Trojans varsity men's lacrosse senior night is tomorrow at 7:15. We'll have that game broadcasted for you here live on Trojan Pride Sports Marketing live on YouTube. We also had a game on Monday. We had women's lacrosse for Del Oro broadcasted on Monday. We got 3 streams this week. Girls lacrosse for Del Oro. We've obviously got this game tonight. And tomorrow night, we've got men's varsity lacrosse senior night versus this very team in the Folsom Bulldogs. 7:15. Check it out live on Trojan Pride Sports Marketing, live on YouTube. As we come back from the timeout, the Alien to set it up. Up 3. That one just wide, 22-20. Gabe de Guzman checks in. 22-20. This is an unbelievable set, number 4. It's going to come down to the wire.
De Guzman, certainly such an underrated player for this Trojans team. He seems to always be on every single ball, no matter where it is.
Dennis can't get it over. That one up in the air. They keep it alive somehow. Oh, but it's just out. Folsom again, after a Trojan 3-point lead, quickly turn it to a 1-point deficit. This team is unbelievable in crunch time.
That's what this Bulldog team does. They claw back.
Wow. Ball looked like it. I'm not sure, actually. I was going to give you a reason, but I don't know.
Perhaps he stepped over the line.
Maybe. 23-21, that's a costly mistake if it was from the Bulldogs, as now only 2 points would give the Trojans the victory here tonight. That one's going to hit the pole, but it's going to give them 24. Set and match point for the Trojans. The Bulldogs have clawed back in crunch time. Down 3, can they do it again? Match point for the Trojans. Rolling on the top of the net, wow. Blocked by two Trojans. And it rolls on the top of the net and falls on the Trojan side, 24-22. Frazier for the win. No. De Guzman. Frazier again.
That time pulled off the heat.
Up in the air, this is a great rally. Can the Trojans end it? 1 dig, 2 to keep it alive. Holy cow, they send it over. No, and it's short. It's short, and the Trojans close it out. It's short on the return, and the blue and gold end the season with a victory, winning 10 out of their last 12 games. Wow, what an unbelievable game we had here tonight, ending in 4. But the Bulldogs showed out, not making easy work at all for the Trojans. Last set ending 25-22, and that is a close. The Trojans, their final season record 29-11 with an 11-3 record in the SFL. Folsom falls to 12-23 with a 4-9 record in league play. What an amazing game here tonight. Happy senior night to all the Oak Ridge Trojans and Folsom Bulldogs seniors, and the Trojans end their season on a high note. Thank you, everybody, for watching. My name is Murcielago Del Dotto, Tommy Johnstone, and Tristan Barstead. We say goodnight. Have a good night, everybody. And as always, go Trojans!